What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're like me, you are sitting with bated breath, waiting, hoping to see some of the first soon-to-be absolutely massive defamation lawsuits in the name of Kyle Rittenhouse dropping soon. Now, I'm sure that they have to plan carefully and pick the right targets, because I'm not a lawyer, okay, obviously, even though I'm an honorary member of LawTube. But my guess is picking the targets with the money enough to pay off and to make it worth your while. Meaning, I don't think a single one of these trials goes to the end. This is about maximizing your settlement payments. Just like we saw with the Covington Catholic boy, we know that these newspapers and TV networks will pay out in settlements because the trial and discovery would be potentially far more expensive. Also, make no mistake, CNN, the Washington Post, Joy Reid, The View, all these weirdos that willingly and repeatedly lied about Kyle don't care because they made so much money doing it. It will likely pale in comparison to whatever lawsuits may follow. However, I fully support and endorse 100% massive lawsuits against these companies, because let's also be clear about another thing. The slander, the knowing libelous statements that these people made about Kyle Rittenhouse will follow him forever. I don't need to go any further in explaining that than simply talking about how the kid just can't go to college, for example. Now, maybe if he waits a few years, 2 to 3 years, things will kind of level out and he'll be able to kind of live a normal life, but he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have spent those 80 days or whatever in jail either. And he shouldn't have to make press releases every time he wants to go to, he wants to do something in his life. The Arizona State University constantly having to acknowledge whether or not a private citizen is enrolled in their school seems absurd to me. Why is Arizona State University even making those statements? In fact, it would appear to me that they are walking on extraordinarily thin ice, even interjecting themselves into something. Why wouldn't you just simply make a statement like, we don't make comments to the press about our students? Don't you think your students deserve a little bit of privacy? Well, yesterday there was quite an interesting little tweet sent out from Kyle Rittenhouse. Well, the legal fund that backs him. Now, if you've been following the aftermath of everything, you know that first of all, there's a big kerfuffle with Lynn Wood, who was his original lawyer, from what I understand and remember. And he had raised $2 million in Kyle's name. He also made the choice to let Kyle rot in a jail cell for 90 days, even after he had the money to bail him out. There are many things that Lynn Wood did that boggles my mind. Lynn Wood had gone completely off the deep end, like Q stuff, talking about how, Kyle's not even going to have a trial because we're not going to have a court system after the election and all this kind of stuff. Instead of doing his job and taking care of his client. So I don't have any love for Lynn Wood. And maybe there's more to the story in terms of this money. People have mentioned, hey, there are text messages in between, between the two that, but why on earth would Lynn Wood want to, if he really raised this money for the defense fund, why does he feel like he is deserving of a single penny of it? Why isn't he immediately giving that money to Kyle? Why hasn't he given it to him until this point? This is a guy who, within seconds of Kyle being found not guilty, filed a motion with the local court to demand his $2 million. $2 million of which, as far as I understand, is $0 of Lynn Wood's actual money. It's people that donated money to his defense fund. Well, Kyle issued this tweet on December 12th, yesterday, Sunday. Accountability is coming. And you just love to hear it. You love to hear it. There's all sorts of other stuff going on here with the evidence fairy, too. There's all sorts of interesting stuff. There's there's a lot of accountability, my friends, that is about to happen. And Kyle Rittenhouse has now called out Joe Biden and demanded a meeting, or requested a meeting. This via Real Clear Politics. The 18-year-old, of course, found not guilty. Kyle, this is referencing to the interview with Louder with Crowder, said he wants an apology from President Biden, who used an image of him during his ad from the 2020 election campaign. I agree. I want him to sue Joe Biden just for the discovery of it. All these lunatics that wanted, buried Trump in lawsuits because Orange Man bad, like Joe Biden, there's like a legitimate case against him for defamation or libelous, right? He used Kyle's image to conflate like those idiots that wear sheets over their heads and carry torches, right? He specifically did that. And he conflated Kyle's face with supremacists. That has to have a penalty. Kyle, of course, saying it was very disappointing. President Biden is a former criminal defense attorney, so he should know innocent before proven guilty. Mr. President, I hope you see this. I'll have a sit down and explain the facts to you so you can understand them. Were you scared? Did you think the fix was in at any point? The most powerful office in the land sounding off, Crowder asked. That must have been terrifying. I was terrified, having all these lying media organizations, the president saying all these false things that are not true. How can somebody get away with that? Well, I think the fact of the matter is they shouldn't get away with it. There should be a steep financial price for what these people did. Look, there's a difference, okay? There's a difference between being wrong, having bad information, and jumping to conclusions. These are all normal things humans do. I do it. You do it. We all do it. Okay. There's that. And then there's the media knowing the facts and choosing to report something different. That is where we get into the libelous stuff. This via Darth Crypto too, breaking in the Kyle trial. Detective Howard claimed in his affidavit that the, quote, anonymous male airdropped the drone footage to his phone. Remember this whole, he airdropped it and it's different. So the FBI guy showed up and blah, blah, blah. However, exclusive surveillance video proves Howard and the, quote, evidence fairy were inside the building together for less than 2 minutes. If both people have Bluetooth on and both people enter the building and stand right inside the doorway and they don't talk to each other, an airdrop works perfectly, then yes, it's theoretically possible it could have happened within 90 to 120 seconds. We're talking about some boomer cop and some other dude sharing a video file between two phones in under 2 minutes. Doesn't happen. You know what happens in 2 minutes? I mean, I can't say that for sure. I'll say extremely unlikely that it would happen. What's more likely is that he handed the guy a file, that he handed him an SD card or something like that. Here's a quick video explaining the timing and how the evidence fairy story doesn't make sense. Yes, he could have airdropped the file. It's possible, but it's in the amount of time that was in there. I don't know. It seems unlikely. And people are still absolutely losing their minds. A brand new petition to Nancy Pelosi asking her to get Kyle banned off Twitter. Twitter should not allow this. The petition aims to get enough attention as to convince Twitter to suspend Kyle's account on the platform, though this may be a tall order given the thousands of followers he's accumulated in the short time he's been on the site, as well as the fact that he's a public personality. This petition will at least spread awareness of Twitter's ineptitude at mitigating hate on its own platform. Please sign and share. What? By the way, this has gone from 80 to 100 in less than, 5 minutes. I just found this trial. So I just found this. This is a petition to ban him from Twitter. And then every liberal media outlet, this is yesterday again. Despite Kyle's claims, university says he hasn't even applied. An online petition posted by students demanding he be barred from Arizona State University has been signed by nearly 17,000 losers. I mean, people. I mean, why? Why would this even exist? Is it a change.org? Yeah, of course it's a change.org. 17,000 people signed this. None of them, by the way, probably ASU students, right? This is why, okay? If you kind of sense the trend in this video, this is why Kyle gets to sue for defamation. This is why he gets to sue for libelous comments. This is why he should win that, because these lunatics are never going to let him live his life. A man who was never guilty of a single thing. Can't wait for the lawsuits to drop, bud. Best of luck. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.